So I wanted to do a quick review of what we discussed today. We did actually in 4 parts, and the fifth part is for something for you to work on your own. So we started building the actual program. Remember to put the full description because it's much easier to work with. Uh, we started with the histogram list to keep track of how many of these salary increases will fall in this category. So we have a total of 9 categories. So I made this histogram of 9 items. So somewhere in here in shell, we actually, uh, let's see, where did we put that? I think we changed at the end. Um, Let me put this one back in here, and you can change that to 9, and you can actually see that it was 9 items in the list. So let me put this one as part of the documentation, like I always tell you to have this information available, because then you know what's happening here. Here's the raw data, copy it straight out of the website. So um, if you go to actually your, where is it? I think I lost it. Um, yeah, because I already put the other one, this one coming up. So if you actually go to the course page and click on the first link, then that will take you to the web page where you have the raw data, although the actual page also has that information here, right here. I believe the raw data is there too. Oh no, I didn't put it there. All right, so definitely you had to go to the web page to get this raw data because this one has no special characters interfering with the data as you can put it on your file, on your new program. So when you do that, you end up with something very long. Do not change it. It doesn't matter. Uh, then I created these counters. And this is something that I don't want you to do because I don't want you to use any if conditions at all. You don't need any if conditions. So we decided that this was bad because we're not going to use any if statements. So what I also wanted to do is show you how to actually go about doing this by just taking one particular data and manipulate it according to the specifications of the assignment individually, all by itself, so you can really understand how you can make it general for the whole data list that you have over here. So what we did in Shell, we did it by parts, and we took one particular element, which was the first one right here, 530, and we just kind of play with it all by itself. And then, well, we said this is actually the first element on the list. And we did this calculation. We also went further and we took that value, we turned it into an integer, and then we divided in integer division, and we put it in J. J is the index for which I can increment the histogram list for every occurrence that ends up with that particular hundredth number. So if we looked over here, when we did that, we ended up with 6. So this was one particular example. And that, again, one example can help you figure out how to do for all of them. I also wanted to see that, in fact, the we took it by a step again, in which we wanted to see if the increment was actually the salary increase, I should say, it was actually being stored properly or being calculated properly. And so we did it for the whole thing by putting it into a for loop, and then we applied the calculations that is are described in the assignment. And I printed it in a 10 by 10, although this one didn't come out good because it was actually the condition over here was true, and so it broke right away. But anyways, we wanted to see that, in fact, we ended up with a range of values according to what the description was. It looks like the first one that will show up is 200, and it will go up to greater than 1,000. And in fact, we do have those values over here. So we were able to see the actual process data, the salary increases with the 200 and the actual 9% increase. We also wanted to know how many of them were over 1,000. And when we did that, right, I don't have the output of this one. I should put it over here, but here it is, right here. And in fact, we have 11 of them. So the third step, we needed to know that count of salary increases within the range of each category. And that's how we did this third step. So if we run through the whole raw data with the calculations, the actual finding the 100 position, the 100 value, and use it to increment in the histogram, then we will know how many occurrences of those values are. The trick over here, and it wasn't my deduction, it came from a couple of few students, is that in fact, the value doesn't start at 0, the categories 0 to 100, let's say, and 100 to 199. It starts at 200. So we have to shift everything by 2. And that's why when you look over here, we take it -2. And if you print it, here we have 14 of them in the 200 range, 8 in the 300 range, and so on. But we want to still confirm that that makes sense. And so we wanted to take each of those. I got 3 examples, the first one, the last one, and something in between. And that gives me a number that I can multiply by this literal, and that means that it's going to be repeated that many numbers. So at 0, we know that there were 14 of them. Here it is. Yeah, 14 of them, the histogram. So we have 14 stars. So the last step is something that you have to work on. And here it is how to have the labels of each category and the number of stars that you're going to be printing. Here's the hint that I gave you, which is printing sideways, something that this is not enough, right? This is only going to give you this value. It's not going to give you this, and it's not going to give you that. That is what you're supposed to work on. See you. Bye.